Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and today we are continuing with our ChiBi Let's Talk Lore series. We ended last episode as a mysterious general charged out to rescue Huang Zhong from the chopping block. But in fact, this mysterious general is not new to our lore series, as it is Wei Yan. The last time we saw Wei Yan, he rebelled against Cai Mao when Liu Bei pulled up to Xiangyang with the refugees, as he was escaping from Cao Cao. Unable to join Liu Bei then, Wei Yan traveled south to join Han Xuan. But once again, seeing opportunity to join Liu Bei, Wei Yan has rebelled again as he saves Huang Zhong and proceeds to fight and slay Han Xuan. With Han Xuan dead, Wei Yan opens the gate and presents Han Xuan's head in the city of Changsha over to Guan Yu. Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang, who was tailing Guan Yu this whole time, also marched right into Changsha as Liu Bei paid a visit to Huang Zhong in his home to comfort him for the loss of Han Xuan and to invite him to work for them now. Huang Zhong agrees with one condition, as he wants to give Han Xuan a proper burial. Liu Bei agrees, but when Wei Yan comes in to meet his new bosses, Zhuge Liang orders the guard to tie up Wei Yan. Wei Yan asks why, and Zhuge Liang replies, "You have no honor. You have rebelled against every one of your lords each time in the past we have met you, so it's much safer to execute you now, assuming that you'll one day rebel against us." Liu Bei pleads with Zhuge Liang to spare Wei Yan, as it would set a bad example for future generals who want to surrender to them. Zhuge Liang relents and warns Wei Yan as he lets him go. "If you ever think about rebelling against us, then just remember that I can easily kill you." With Changsha taken and all 4 southern commanderies fallen under Liu Bei's control, we can turn our eyes back east as Sun Quan has been trying to expand his success at ChiBi by sieging HeFei. But after a series of battles against Zhang Liao, who was tasked with defending HeFei, Sun Quan found himself struggling as he now camped more than 50 miles away from the city as he no longer had the manpower to lay siege to the city. Just as Sun Quan is brooding in camp, Lu Su arrives with the news of Chen Pu would be arriving tomorrow with their western forces, as Wu has now consolidated all their manpower here at HeFei. But before Chen Pu arrives, Zhang Liao also sends a messenger to their camp to issue a challenge to Sun Quan. Sun Quan, who has already been fed up with losing to Zhang Liao, and emboldened by the incoming reinforcement, agrees to face off with Zhang Liao the next day. The next morning, Sun Quan dressed in a golden armor as he faced off against Zhang Liao, who was flanked on each side by Yue Jin and Li Dian. Zhang Liao rides out to challenge Sun Quan to a duel. In response, Tai Shici charges out to answer the duel for Sun Quan. The two generals tangle in a duel that goes on for over 70 exchanges with neither side showing any weakness. To break the stalemate, Yue Jin charged out as he headed straight for the golden-armored Sun Quan as he yearned for revenge for their defeat at ChiBi. As everyone was preoccupied looking at the intense duel between Tai Shici and Zhang Liao, Sun Quan did not realize Yue Jin was charging at him until it was too late. But luckily, his 2 bodyguards, Song Qian and Jia Hua, were there to deflect Yue Jin's initial strike. Seeing that his attempt on Sun Quan's life had failed, Yue Jin pulled back to retreat back to his side. But Song Qian gives chase only to have Yue Jin turn around as he pulled out his bow to snipe at Song Qian and in his chest. The shot proved to be fatal as Song Qian falls from his horse. The thud from his fall startles Tai Shici, who thought Sun Quan might have fallen as he pulled out from his duel with Zhang Liao and retreated back to their side. Using this momentum and confusion, Zhang Liao ordered his men to give chase as their force routed Sun Quan's force once again. Sun Quan was lucky that Chen Pu's reinforcement arrived just in time to hold back from Zhang Liao's chase. Back in camp, Sun Quan is both sad and mad at the death of his bodyguard Song Qian, and demanded his generals to come up with a plan to crush Zhang Liao. Tai Shici offered up a plan as one of his subordinates is close friends with someone who works in Zhang Liao's stable, so they could potentially try to spread chaos from inside the city to create an opening for them on the outside. Sun Quan loves the plan and orders Tai Shici to take 5,000 men and try to push the plan through into action right away. So Tai Shici gets word out to his subordinate, who's already snuck into the city, to figure out a plan tonight to spread chaos within the city. The subordinate finds Zhang Liao's stable master, who is his close friend, and the two of them decides on a plan to spread fire throughout the city in an effort to spread chaos and fear inside, which would create an opening for Taishi on the outside. So that night, they start spreading fires, but Zhang Liao, who is a very careful general, already ordered all his men to be on alert and sleep with their armor on that night, or even patrolling with a band of cavalry himself when the fire started to spread in the city. So Zhang Liao was able to quickly hunt down the 2 fire starters. After questioning these 2 men, Zhang Liao learned of Taishi's plan and decided to turn it against him by executing the 2 fire starters and then proceed to have his own men start fires and pretend to be in a state of panic as they open the gates. Seeing the gates open and fire burning inside, Taishi assumes that his men had successfully created chaos within the city as he charged in with his men. But what's waiting for him on the inside was Zhang Liao and his men laying in ambush as men charged the Taishi as soon as he entered the city gate and arrows showered onto his men. Taishi took many arrows to his back as he battled his way back to the Wu camp. At the end of the night, more than half of the raid party were decimated and Taishi was mortally wounded. Sun Quan finally gave up his dream of taking HeFei as he pulled his army back south across the river. By the time they returned home, Taishi has died from his wounds at age 41. With Sun Quan back in the south, Liu Bei side ran into a bit of problem as well, because Liu Qi had finally succumbed to his illness and died. So Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang now fully expect Sun Quan to come asking for the return of the Jin province. Sure enough, soon Lu Su sailed to Jinzhou bearing gifts once again. As he attended the memorial services of Liu Qi, Lu Su asked Zhuge Liang after the service that previously we decided that you are only here to defend the Jin province for Liu Qi, who is Liu Bei's heir, but with Liu Qi now dead and without child, the Jin province should be promptly returned to us. Zhuge Liang then argues back, we both live in the Han dynasty, started by the Liu clan, so all land under heaven belongs to the Liu clan. My lord Liu Bei is the descendant of the Liu clan and the uncle to the present emperor, and Liu Bei was my lord's cousin. If the Jin province belongs to anyone, it's definitely my lord. Your lord is from the Sun clan, who is a mere warlord who has now defied the central government and holds 6 commanderies in the south without the blessing of the emperor, and now you want to take more land from us? Don't forget, we also contributed to the war against Cao Cao, and if I didn't pray for the east wind, then right now, all of you will be Cao Cao's prisoners. So what proper claim do you guys have on the Jin province? Lu Su is a little loss of word after this barrage from Zhuge Liang, but he recovers and replies, let's not forget that your side was soundly defeated by Cao Cao at Changban, and if we didn't form an alliance then, your side would have surely perished first. And when you guys stole Nanjun from us, I was able to prevent bloodshed between our sides as I told Zhou Yu and Sun Quan that you guys will be good on your words and return the Jin province to us once Liu Qi has passed. Now you guys are going back on your words. I'm sad, as it seems this alliance we have worked so hard for will end in a war that will only benefit Cao Cao. Zhuge Liang then takes a step back and says, surely we can't let that happen. Right now, we only have the Jin province. If we return it to you, then we'll have nowhere to call home once again. What we need to do right now is to gain claim to new territories before we're able to return the Jin province to Wu. Happy that they have gained this compromise, Lu Su follows up and asks Zhuge Liang what he had in mind in terms of new territories to conquer. Zhuge Liang replies, Liuzhang to the west is weak and the land is rich, so we intend to take the land of Shu as our base. Once we do that, we'll return the Jin province back to Wu. Lu Su agrees, and the two sides write this agreement on paper as both Zhuge Liang and Lu Su signs the paper, and Lu Su takes it and returns to Wu to present this agreement to Zhou Yu and Sun Quan. Lu Su's first stop on his way back is in Chaisang, where Zhou Yu is still nursing his wound. He reads the agreement and laments to Lu Su that this is a useless piece of paper, because if Liu Bei never takes Shu, then would we have to let him borrow the Jin province forever? Lu Su ponders for a bit and can only reassure himself and Zhou Yu by saying that we must believe in Liu Bei to have enough honor to stand by his word, and that he will take Shu soon and return the Jin province to us shortly after. But deep down inside, Lu Su is also a bit worried that he had in fact made a poor agreement with Zhuge Liang and given the Jin province as a blank check to Liu Bei's side. So he decides to stay in Chaisang with Zhou Yu for a few days as he's a bit scared to travel back to Nanxu where Sun Quan is located. During this time he is at Chaisang, a scout reported back that someone of importance seemed to have died in Jinzhou as a new grave was being built and soldiers are seen dressed for the funeral in white. Zhou Yu sent some more spies to discover who has died, and news filtered back that it was Liu Bei's wife, Lady Gan, who has recently passed away. Hearing this, a new plan formed inside Zhou Yu's head as he called forth Lu Su. He tells Lu Su, with Liu Bei's wife dead, they can try to use a political marriage to lure Liu Bei to travel to Wu, as Sun Quan has a younger sister who is still unmarried. Once Liu Bei comes, we can imprison him and use him to bargain for the return of the Jin province. This way, we don't have to rely on this agreement that you have secured us. Lu Su, happy that this plan might fix the errors of his negotiation, quickly decides to travel to Nanxu to meet up with Sun Quan and present Zhou Yu's plan. To find out if Sun Quan will be receptive to the strategy of using his younger sister as bait, come back tomorrow as we continue our lore series.